How do beautiful, strong, compassionate, intelligent people get lured into narcissistic relationships? Honestly, it's kind of the same way that a stage hypnotist gets you to cluck like a chicken in front of 1,000 strangers. Don't believe me? Keep watching. Hey everybody, my name is Chelsea and I am a hypnotherapist and intuitive healer. And today we are talking about two of the biggest ways that narcissists get you into a relationship and keep you there. Before I get started, please like this video, subscribe to this channel so I know to make more content like this. And if this video serves you, if there's somebody that you believe is in a narcissistic relationship and you feel this video might help them, please share this, or at least share the information, because this is a very dear to my heart subject. And I think that the more information that gets put out there, the more we can see what's going on and the better we can defend ourselves from narcissists and free ourselves up for beautiful, loving, healthy relationships. So again, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel. Let's get started. So how does a narcissist get you into a relationship in the first place? Many videos, many resources out there will tell you love bombing. Now, what love bombing looks like on the outside is this intense fairy tale connection. Oh my God, they are lavishing you with gifts and experience and words of affirmation. And they are also paying attention to you. They're learning all about your family, all about your dreams, your desires, your deepest fears. You know, they're really opening up and letting you just say all the things that you've always wanted people to hear from you. It's a very addicting feeling of being seen. And that's, I think, what a lot of us crave when we meet a narcissist is we crave this feeling of being seen by someone, right? That's what I always craved anyway. I always just wanted to meet somebody who seemed to know me better than I knew myself, which probably comes from Disney, probably comes from a lot of other childhood things that I haven't unpacked for myself yet, but that was always my goal. And my secret dream was to have somebody in my life who knew me better than I knew myself, which I'm just going to dispel that myth right there. Nobody can know you as well as you know yourself. Nobody. Because how are you going to communicate it if you don't know it yourself? Sure, people can pick up on your patterns and observe certain things, but really that is BS meter alert number one, is if somebody claims to or acts as though they know you better than you know yourself. Moving back to the subject. So love bombing is a very calculated tactic used by narcissists. And you can recognize this phase by the intense focus on you and the somehow subtle lack of vulnerability on their part. Are they listening to you? Are they just drinking in every word? But when you ask them about yourself, they kind of deflect? Are they being very lavish, being very intense at a very short period, like within 6 months or so, and already it's, I love you, it's this. Now, not to say that the words I love you can't come within 6 months, but it's usually a very short, very intense period of time. I've known people who have married narcissists based on the first 6 months of a relationship. They get married quick because it just feels so right, and then they pull the switch and the crazy comes out. So be aware of the intensity versus time. Be aware of the reciprocity of vulnerability, because what's going on is a hypnotic technique. Actually, it's one of the essential tools of hypnosis called bypassing the critical faculty. And your critical faculty is that little tiny BS meter that you probably developed sometime around the time you realized that the tooth fairy just takes people's teeth and hoards them. That was when my critical faculty kicked in, was like, wait, this fairy just comes by and takes people's teeth? Then it gets stronger and stronger as we grow into adulthood. We see more, we get more cynical. The critical faculty is partially a BS meter, partially a judgment factory. So when we're in a therapeutic and a healing setting, a hypnotist needs to bypass your critical faculty, because so many of us judge what's in our heads already, right? How many times have you been talking to a therapist or talking to a friend or a relative? There's something very, very important that wants to come out, but your brain says, no, that's going to sound crazy. Don't say that. Bypassing the critical faculty in a therapeutic setting is vital, because it takes all of those little things, all of those very important, sometimes crazy sounding images or memories, and bypasses that little judgmental voice that says you shouldn't say that, or you shouldn't bring that up, or you're crazy. That's just a random image in your head. Because those subconscious crazy things are actually super important to our understanding and our healing. Let's say I'm in a session with one of my clients, and I've now bypassed the critical faculty with them, and their unconscious mind brings up an image of a cartoon bunny driving a car. Now, that seems pretty random, and that seems like something that in normal conversation, they would just kind of shove down, like, what does a cartoon bunny have to do with anything? But the unconscious mind actually produces these images, produces these random little seemingly unconnected references in order to make sense of something, in order to bring something forward into the conscious mind. So bypassing the critical faculty, if there's somebody in trance in my office and they mention a cartoon bunny driving a car, we can then investigate that and see what that means, and therefore create a healing space that may not have been able to be accessed before. Now, what bypassing the critical faculty does for narcissistic relationships is it bypasses those months and all of that time that it takes to build a true connection, because that's not something they're interested in. It's too vulnerable of a place for a narcissist to go to establish a true connection. So love bombing bypasses that. It gets you in that deep feeling of love, that feeling of deep trust, that feeling of deep connection, without having to go through all that fiddly little vulnerability stuff that they would have to do in order to develop true trust. So what that does is it creates that sensation that you have been in a relationship for years, that you may know this person, that they may know you better than you know yourself, which again is a very, very attractive story for a lot of us because we feel seen, right? So the critical faculty can be bypassed through a number of different techniques with hypnosis. Same with the hypnosis of narcissists. It can happen when you bombard the senses. You can put somebody into a trance and bypass their critical faculty just by bombarding them with words, and they'll go, wait, huh? And then you can embed a suggestion. Or you can say, you can throw them a lifeline. That's what a lot of them do. They'll bombard you to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, I just don't even know what's going on right now. Yeah, because I know you. I just know you better than you know yourself. Something to that effect of getting you into that suggestibility. It can also happen with very, very strong emotions. We bypass that all the time when we get super angry or super scared or super anxious or super in love. That will bypass our critical faculty. So there's a bunch of different ways that they do this, and love bombing hits those actual hypnotic techniques. Then what they will do is keep you in that relationship through a process called fractionation. Now, what fractionation in a hypnotherapy sense is it's getting somebody into a trance, light, heavy, medium, deep, whatever. But you get somebody into a trance and you take them into that trance, right? And then you pull them just a little bit back out of it. And then you bring them deeper. And then just a little bit back out. And then you bring them deeper into a trance. I'm hoping my hand waving is accurately conveying it. And it is a very, very effective tool for deepening a trance. It's a very beautiful tool that can get people so relaxed, so past that critical faculty that their mind can open up entirely and begin to access things that would have been deeply repressed otherwise, so that they can come forward and heal. A narcissistic relationship will get you into that trance by bypassing the critical faculty with love bombing. And then they'll pull back a little bit. And you go, wait a minute, huh? And then, this deeper dive of, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm just going through a lot. You are the only person who can really help me out of this funk that I've been in. Deeper into the trance. Oh, that's right. I am the only person who can really care for this person. And then they'll bring you back out again with a tantrum or a rage or stonewalling and giving you the silent treatment. And then they'll bring you deeper back into it. I am so sorry. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have such a caring person in my life. Yeah. And that happens over the course of the relationship. And it's insanely intense on your mind. That's why if you have a friend in a narcissistic relationship, that's why they can't just walk away the 50th time that their narcissist has abused them, mentally, emotionally, physically, otherwise. Because it's bringing them up and out, and they'll see it and they'll say, oh my God, you're right. This is BS. This is awful. But then they bring them deeper back into it by saying, you know what, you're the only one who can heal me. You're the only one who can care for me the way that you do. You're the only one who's ever loved me. And they're affirming that story that people who are attracted to narcissists want to hear. The narcissist is the ultimate challenge for the healer. That is the Everest of healing. I mean, if we could heal a narcissist, and they will continually reaffirm that. So when they bring you back out of it a little bit and you say, no, I don't deserve this treatment, they'll wait until you're just right about there, but not completely out, and then they'll bring you back in. So I say this, if you have a friend who is in a narcissistic relationship, hopefully this explains why they can't just leave, why they won't just leave. And B, as with all of these videos that I'm putting out, I want you to be able to see it and see what's going on, because nobody can hypnotize you without your consent. Nobody can keep you in this if you decide you want to leave. And oftentimes we can be hypnotized without knowing it, which is why it's so sneaky, and it's why narcissism is so particularly effective. But once we've seen it, it's like seeing through the veil. It's like seeing through the trick. So I hope this video helps you see through the trick. Now, how can you defend yourself? Again, watch this video. Wake up your critical faculty. I'm not saying to abandon all trust in all humans. Definitely appreciate when people do nice things for you. There are plenty of wonderful, beautiful people who just want to show you care, who do want to build that trust, that beautiful connection with you. But if your critical faculty is pinging, listen to it, honor it. What's the worst that can happen? You've missed one opportunity. I promise you there will be hundreds of others. And if you find that you are in that sort of relationship, again, wake up that critical faculty. Start writing, start journaling, start taking note of every time they bring you out of that good feeling only to bring you back in. And you'll be able to sense it by the way that it almost seems intentional. right? They'll fly into a rage for no reason, or they'll ruin the day just because, for whatever reason, it seemed too dang peaceful. Start noticing whether it's intentional or whether it feels intentional. And hopefully, at that point, you can start to bring yourself back out of it and say, no, I do not want to be hypnotized today. And again, this might take time. If you've spent a long time in this relationship, it's going to take a lot of time to dissolve those emotional boundaries. It's not like waking up out of a session after a half hour and saying, oh, nope, I don't want to do that anymore. But you can wake up. You are always in control of your mind. You are always in control of your consciousness. And you can, at any moment, decide to wake up your critical faculty and see what's been going on. I hope this video was helpful. I would love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear your experiences. So drop a comment, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Till then.